Hi there gamers, welcome to an MGLMix video with me, Respawn Rossco for MyGamesLounge.com. This has got a bit of a twist to it, but first of all I just want to let you know that there's some cool stuff on the site. We've got some reactions of the Batman Arkham Knight news going out today, so make sure you're on MyGamesLounge.com later for another video from myself about that. We've also got Pillars of Eternity. We're playing it now, we're reviewing the game, and we're allowed to release that on Thursday. So prepare yourself for some impressions coming up in the next few days, as well as the official review, of course, as well, if you're interested in that. And today on MyGamesLounge.com, we've also got this game I found difficult to pronounce, but Takaiden is been reviewed, and the review is going out at 2 PM, so make sure you check that out as well. But the big game of the week is Bloodborne. Now, Bloodborne is coming exclusively to the PlayStation 4 this Friday, which will be the 27th. And we've been looking forward to it for a while on MyGamesLounge.com. And as PlayStation 4 gamers, of course, we've been looking forward to it. Now, the reviews can actually go out at 2 AM, and I'm not staying up that late, unfortunately. I've got to be up quite early in the morning. So I'm doing this a little bit of an experiment. Right now it's about 11:30 on Monday evening, and I'm recording this video with no idea what the reviews are going to say other than my own kind of expectations. The second half of the video, and I will timestamp this on mygameslounge.com, so you can skip to the part of the video where I discuss the reviews if that's what you want to listen to. Absolutely fine, I'll put that on there and the description in YouTube as well. But second half, I'm going to talk about the reviews, what they say, my reaction to that, what I'm looking forward to. So at the moment, I don't know. This could be a 10 out of 10 game. It could be a 9 out of 10 game. Could be an 8 out of 10 game. Could be another disappointment like the Order 1886. We currently don't know. But what I have are some seriously big expectations from this title. What is there to like about Bloodborne? Let's start there. Let's start with the good stuff. Firstly, visually, it looks really, really impressive. And the actual graphic style of this kind of world, this twisted demonic world, looks as impressive as anything I've seen. Now, the Order 1886, like I've just mentioned, managed to capture an amazing graphical engine, and I'm not sure it quite reaches that standard here. But what it does do is it creates an atmosphere. It creates a kind of a constant feeling of fear and dread at what's around the next corner, and that's what the atmosphere that they've gone for with this. The music's impressive. We've run a trailer with the music on there on mygameslounge.com, and that was something that I thought was going to be very important for a game like this. The other thing that I like about the game is, unlike the Dark Souls series, which are great games, although I'm not a huge fan of them, I've not slaughtered my way through hundreds of hours like some gamers have, and like I personally have with something like Skyrim. But it doesn't just look about trying to survive against just some little demon thing that's a bit annoying. Everything in this game looks like it's out to kill you, and it looks like it's downright nasty. But at the same time, it looks like it's more about getting in there in the action, using weapons and killing, rather than just being mindlessly slaughtered. Now, the other cool feature, now I mentioned this in a blog that I did the other week, it was an article on procedural gaming, and I was talking about all the things that I think is cool about the fact that procedural design in games is now starting to come into mainstream games like Bloodborne, and the fact that these chalice dungeons add a dimension to a game whereby you can go into these chalice dungeons. They're kind of like spawned as you go into them, so you don't know from one to the next necessarily what you're going to face in there, which is something that I think is massively perfect for this kind of game, because they're going for this feeling of dread. They're going for this, what big beast like that one you just watched there, what big thing is going to try and kill me next? And what comes from going into a dungeon and doing that and doing it again is kind of complacency. You get this sort of, alright, I died 3 or 4 times, and you start to feel at ease with it. You know what's coming, you know what's around that corner. Oh yeah, that dude comes around the corner in a couple of seconds. I need to get this weapon ready because I'm really good at smashing him in the face with it. But you take that away when you've got a procedural design. That feeling of starting to get comfortable is completely removed. You don't know, because you started the dungeon again. It could be a completely different layout. It can be completely different enemies. The thing that killed you is not there. You can't get used to it. That's one of the things that stands out for me as being excellent. You've got a huge array of options with co-op play, with people invading your game, the actual story mode itself. It's got the ingredients. It really does have the ingredients to be something special, and I think Sony are banking on it being something special. So let's see what the reviews say. The only things that I can see might be a bit worrying, I would say the plot. I've not heard much about the plot other than you get a blood transfusion and all the demons suddenly appear. So the plot might not be very rich, but does it matter if the action and the killing's good? Not so much in the game. Now, there was another debatable thing that I saw. Some people were saying that there aren't many chests and there aren't many weapons. Now, you can look at this from both sides. Yeah, there's maybe not enough stuff to call it a proper RPG experience. At the same time, I get annoyed when you go into a game and you're constantly in your inventory, like breaking stuff into little pieces or throwing stuff away, or you're going through a dungeon and you've collected so much stuff, you don't actually know what to keep and what to destroy almost. You've just got these big piles of loot. And yeah, loot's great when you get something good, but for every one thing you get good, you get about 30-40 things that are shit. You know what I mean? Sorry to be rude for younger listeners watching, but you know, loot games are cool. This doesn't suit a loot game for me. It suits the fact that when you find a chest, you're like, oh my god, I found a chest and this weapon's good, this weapon's gonna help me out, thank god I found it. That kind of desperation. And if you're finding a chest every 2 minutes, maybe that will be lost. We'll see on that one. The other thing I'll point out with something like that is it's very easily fixed. It's very easy for them to add in some extra chests through, you know, a patch or a downloadable content pack. So it's not something that would be a game destroyer for me, although it is perhaps a concern to some people out there. So I'm going to leave it for now, and I'll be back as if by magic in a few seconds, having seen the reviews, and we'll have some talks about what those reviews have said. And as if I never left, gamers, I am back, and I am a bit excited for Friday now, having seen just such a flurry of positive results. The reviews are incredibly positive, and more positive than perhaps I was expecting. You got to remember, this is a game that's kind of hits a niche market, so it was potentially not going to hit the mainstream, but we've got hundreds, 10s out of 10s, we've got 95, 96s, we've got pretty much most reviews over 9, a few dipping under 9, just, you know, with a few things that perhaps didn't work for them. Now, the things that are being said, obviously the environment, the atmosphere, and the way it looks, the way it plays, the gameplay, excellent, the fear that you have as you're going around. There is a little bit of a contradiction. Some things are saying that the Chalice dungeons are really, really good. Some people are saying that they're not quite what they expected. So maybe there's a little bit of something in that where gamers might have a little bit of a contradiction going on. There are other few things that people are saying that there's a few long loading times, but From Software have actually said that they're looking at that in the next patch. And a few like little technical hiccups here and there. But generally speaking, it's outstanding. It's big. People are clocking in at 60 plus hours. There are a number of websites that, to me, have copped out a little bit and done a review in progress. I mean, they must have had enough time. If other reviewers have had 60, 70, 80 plus hours worth of time, they must have had it for a similar amount. There's no way the big websites out there haven't had it for similar amounts of time. So reviews in progress, although are a cop-out, they do show just quite how much to this game there actually is. 60 hours to complete. The new Game Plus mode is living up to the billing that From Software gave it as being really, really tough. As everyone's saying, it's ridiculously hard, and the game itself is ridiculously hard too. We're going to have more on Bloodborne this week. Just my initial reaction is, wow, I am happy, but I'm also a touch surprised at just how much people love it, and people are saying it is an exceptional game. Finally, this PlayStation 4 generation has a game to say, this is outstanding, it's new, it's exclusive, it's outstanding. Xbox One owners have already had Sunset Overdrive last year which was, you know, obviously a fantastic exclusive game, and it's something I want to play, still want to play. But no, this time the PlayStation 4, the Order 1886 maybe let it down a little bit last month. But Bloodborne is awesome, and we will be getting as much content as we can as soon as we get a copy of the game. You make sure you get yourself onto mygameslounge.com for all the other content we've got coming out this week, and we will speak to you there soon. Thank you. Goodbye.